What's up guys and girls, welcome to another video. Greek mythology is being heavily rumored to be an upcoming DLC for God of War Ragnarok. Valhalla finally 100% confirmed Greece has been rebuilt. Although this DLC is just a rumor, I'm going to be talking about it as if it is true because there's always a chance. So, since Greece is rebuilt, who rules over the realm? Let's go down the list of potential figures. I'm going to give my theories about who could fill this position. First, let's talk about Artemis. Artemis is a god and a daughter of Zeus. She first appeared in the very first God of War game, giving Kratos her blade. However, Artemis in God of War is a very mysterious character. After the events of God of War 1, she completely vanished from the series with no real explanation. Also, another weird thing about her character, when it comes to her fellow gods, she is almost treated as if she is a lesser god, despite being the sister of Athena and a daughter of Zeus. In God of War 1, unlike the other gods, Kratos never addresses her as Lord. In God of War 2, she doesn't have a statue in the Garden of the Gods, even though her sister Athena does. And as I mentioned, she never has another appearance within the series. However, the developers have never actually forgotten about her, and from time to time she gets a reference. For example, Kratos uses her blade in God of War Betrayal, which is canon to the God of War series. In God of War Ascension, she was planned to make an appearance in the multiplayer, and you can even find concept art of her, but this was scrapped during development. She even got a small mention in God of War 2018 with a runic attack called Wrath of Artemis. An Easter egg in the Norse game shows even modern day Santa Monica developers has always kept her in mind. In the original comics and novels of God of War, she did participate in the Battle of Champions. She forced her champion into the competition by cursing her champion's village with stillborn children. However, in that story, she is the only god to not retaliate against Kratos after her champion loses. She also has a whole arc with Athena in the original God of War novels, as the two teamed up in that story. She has always been in Santa Monica's mind over the years, even with the small name drop in 2018. This proves that she is still canon to the series, and I think that she is a perfect candidate for being the ruler of Greece, or at least someone who protects it. For one, she is a daughter of Zeus who did not fight to protect him and Olympus. Remember, during God of War 3, she never showed up to fight, and Santa Monica loves deep storytelling, and with Valhalla, it shows that they aren't afraid to mess with details from the original games as long as it makes sense narratively. They can easily say that after God of War 1, she never appeared again because the gods betrayed her in some way, or there were tensions between her and the gods. Or perhaps they can take it one step further. My personal theory is after Kratos opened Pandora's box, it changed the gods with the evils Athena described to us in God of War 3. The gods, after the evils infected them, became even worse versions of themselves, and Athena and Artemis are the only two who did not get affected by it. In fact, maybe Artemis could not stand the change. Maybe Artemis just didn't agree with the gods anymore, or felt that she was separate from them now. So after God of War 1, she could have left Olympus, only to return after Kratos ruined the Greek world. Since she wasn't with the gods after the events of God of War 1, the mortals could approve of her. Zeus the tyrant could be replaced with one of his daughters who did not fight for him. Kratos and Artemis can talk about the past, give more stories and context on the gods like Zeus and Ares, how the gods acted before and after Pandora's box was open. She can talk about her own life in Olympus. All of this fits with 2018 and Ragnarok's style of storytelling. We may also use her blade once again, but considering they didn't let us use Mjolnir, that's kind of a stretch more than anything in this video. But let's move on to my next theory. My next theory is pretty simple. Nobody rules the realm. It's unclear how the power of hope has affected the mortals, and quite honestly, it could be in many different ways. Are the mortals strengthened? Did it give them power? Or did it give them the courage to no longer be dominated by the gods or any other force? Cory Barlog in an interview said that Kratos freed them from the gods. Here is that video.
Every other game, every other God of War game, Kratos goes out to do something bad and inadvertently does something good, right? He releases hope to mankind. He removes predestination, right? The Sisters of Fate, right? He kind of destroys a very controlling polytheistic set of gods and frees mankind from this control, right?
So if Kratos freed them from the gods, why would they once again let themselves be ruled? Why go backwards? It's possible for the mortals to rule themselves, and with the power of hope Kratos gave to them, this means that they could possibly reject any god or ruler who tries to take them over. Basically the same way Kratos used to be. Kratos once served the gods and ultimately, eventually, rejected them. The gods once prayed and worshipped the gods who ruled over them, and now, in this new age of hope, they will reject any god wanting to gain power over them, pretty much following in Kratos' exact footsteps. Number 3 is very simple, but something I'm very passionate about: Calliope. It's possible the once dead daughter of Kratos has walked out of Elysium into the land of the living. In God of War 3, after Kratos killed Hades, we see souls from the underworld escape, but what does that mean for Kratos' daughter and the souls of Elysium? All of the entities and figures who were supposed to guard the underworld are now dead. Persephone, who looked after the souls, Charon the ferryman, the god of death Thanatos, the Cerberus who guards the damned door, and of course Hades himself are all dead and gone. So life and death in the Greek world is up to mystery. It's possible Calliope, as well as the others, they just walked out of the underworld a long time ago. Who better than to take over the throne than the daughter of the god who freed the mortals? The mortals must love and worship Kratos for all the good he's given them, even if some bad might have happened along the way. The Blade of Olympus is also around, so I can totally see a badass Calliope who helps the people. However, there are some flaws with this. In that clip I showed you earlier, where Tyr says that Greece has been rebuilding, Tyr implied he visited that realm, that's how he knows. If Calliope, Kratos' daughter, ruled the Greek world and Greek mythology, Tyr would have definitely told Kratos. Also, to bring her back is to erase years of Kratos' character development. His trauma defines his character. However, if she did rule Greece, it would make a lot of sense story-wise. I personally would love to see it. And next, last but not least, we have to talk about Athena. You knew that she had to be on this list. Athena is a very strange character, and I'm actually making a deep dive video on her. Athena was once a kind god. Although she has always put Olympus' interests first, she's always had a soft spot for Kratos, her brother. She doesn't fully align herself with Kratos, but clearly wants the best for him and actually cares for him. However, her kind intentions left when Kratos ended her life. She came back corrupted and lusted for power. Cory Barlog made a tweet about her whereabouts, and he says that no one has seen Athena for a long time. It's possible, in her time alone, she decided to change back into the kind god she once was and assumed powers over the mortals. If she is alive and became the new ruler of Greece, it would cause some tension and arguments, but be great for storytelling. Anyways, that's my theory on who can be the new ruler of Olympus, out of those characters, including nobody at all. It's not a huge pool of characters, and I was really looking for other people, but if you can think of someone else who might be the ruler of Greece, please let me know in the comments, and I'll probably make a follow-up video on it. The more I think about this, the more I really hope that this DLC is actually coming and that the rumors are true. I'ma be out of here. Thank you guys and girls for listening. Deuces.